Hello everyone, Richard here at Calvin Wazoo with my next installment in Recent Finds, number 13. And so we've got some rock and alternative rock that's kind of new and also some old stuff. And I can't believe that I don't think I really have talked about this one, yeah, which surprised me. And that is this one here, Cave World by the Viagra Boys. This was a 2022 release that I was really wanting to get, but it like sold really quickly. And I don't think there were any second pressings, but I did finally manage to get it on the red vinyl. I'm trying to remember where I found it. I think it was Merch Bar, which I am learning can be very prompt in responding to your order, because what they do is I think they round up records from other merchants, that didn't sell well for that merchant for whatever reason, and then they offer them for sale. I kind of am getting the impression with some later orders I made, because they were so fast with this one, that they were being slow with these later ones, because their source was not responding as quickly to the request. I've got a couple orders with them that I'm still waiting to receive the records that I made back in June. But their prices are really good. So I was very happy to get this. Quickly, I will play the needle drop for you, the song Baby Criminal. Now, Viagra Boys is this Swedish punk, post-punk band. Kind of interesting how they formed. They began in 2015, and there were these two tattoo artists that were hanging out together. One of them was Henrik Hulkert. I'm not sure if that's the correct pronunciation. And Sebastian Murphy, who is American from San Francisco, but was living and working in Stockholm. And they were hanging out together, and they were out drinking, and they wound up in this karaoke bar. And so Murphy like belts out this song, a Mariah Carey song, "We Belong Together." Are you familiar with the song? And after hearing that, Henrik, is like talking with Sebastian, and they're like, "Hey, we got to form a band." Okay. And, so they did. And that was Murphy on vocals, Hokert on bass, and then we have Benjamin Valle or Valle or Valle, if it's perhaps Spanish, on guitar, Solden on drums. I'm probably really butchering these names. And Oscar Carl, they added later on saxophone. So Cave World is their fourth album, and I've heard of them before, but this is the first album that I've ever obtained of theirs. All their discography is very well rated. And they were recently here in Chicago playing a gig, which I was unable to get to. But yeah, good stuff. I really like that, and I really, really like this album. It is among the top 10 for sure, maybe even the top 5 releases of 2020, in my opinion. Or excuse me, of 2022. Okay. Now, the next one is this one here, The Pretenders, or I should say Pretenders. Hate for Sale, and this was released in 2020. This is a really, really strong return to form for Pretenders. And in fact, we at the Gunkles did a Pretenders review, selecting our top 5 albums. If you haven't seen that video, you should check it out. And the needle drop I want to play for you from this is the title song. What amazes me, really, more than the fact, the return to form, I mean, this is very much like their first 2 albums, that same strength and that same, aggressive, almost punk edge to it. But what is really amazing is at the time that this was recorded, Chrissie Hynde was 69. And she's going on 73 years old today, and Pretenders are going to be backing up Guns N' Roses for a concert here at Wrigley Field soon. So it's just, amazing. They just keep on rocking. All right. Another band that is very new, and one that I have really been lauding as much as possible. This is their second album, and the band is Geese. This is 3D Country, which was released this year. I have 2 copies. This is the black vinyl. I do have the clear vinyl variant as well. This is an interesting band and interesting sound. Now, the band members were all in high school together. I think pretty much all of them were. And they were playing as a band while they were in high school. And they were also, excellent academic students. Most of them were bound for college. They'd already been accepted for college, when they were ready to graduate. But what they did, they decided, I think it was on a lark. They're from Brooklyn, New York, by the way. They uploaded some of their songs online. It may have been to Bandcamp. And they got a really, really positive response. And then, about the time of it might have been just before they graduated high school or right after they graduated high school, they got a record deal. And then they went on tour. They've been doing a lot of tour dates in Europe, much more so than here in the U.S. They've been doing a lot of U.S. gigs as well. But man, I think they really scored it big in Europe, and they're touring again and releasing, this album. So the ones who were college bound have, postponed, university, which is perfectly fine. I mean, this is they can go to college whenever. All right. I mean, they've got the chops to do that. But man, they got a record deal. So their style is kind of all over, but they have a signature sound. And with their first album, you can definitely hear the influence of television. Their lead vocalist, Cameron Winter, his vocal range is pretty astounding because he can go from a deep bass into a very solid tenor all the way up to a falsetto, all in one song, and sometimes even in one breath. So it's pretty amazing. Also, there's they had a heavy hitter here with the production. All right, so the band was involved with the production of this album. but also James Ford, who produced Arctic Monkeys and Gorillas before. He was a co-producer on this. So, really solid release. The needle drop is the title song, 3D Country.
I was born, I've heard the voice of the Father. Goes in the one ear, on out the other. Hit me, baby, show me the floor. I was Cassidy's gunman, she was his daughter. That was the country, and we were young. And I was water, I was rum. I don't let her around, but Tulsa no more. For she wanna go back to the sky, mother. I'm back in Chesterfield, dancing the 7 hills. Good in my brother's neck, grabbing the dollar bills. The day the cowboy cried, and I gave up on love, and you gave up on life. And so began my second life, and honey, I'm leaving everything behind. Caesar's old roads are getting out of my mind. Now I'm burning up tonight, rolling up the pieces of my, rolling up the pieces of my life. Used to tear 'em up.
Very good stuff. Really enjoy. Geese are coming back to Chicago, and I haven't bought a ticket yet, and I should soon because the venue isn't that big, and I would like to go see them. I picked up another album. This is one of my favorite bands, particularly of the '80s, but this is a newer release of theirs, and that's Butthole Surfers, and this is Weird Revolution, which was released in 2001. My copy is 2023. Yeah, it's on a white vinyl. I love Butthole Surfers. I just find I probably like their earlier material a little bit better than the later stuff, but the later stuff is really strong as well. Gibby Haynes' vocals I don't want to say he's becoming more sedate, but it's just he's not as often, he's tamer is the best way. He's kind of like a wild animal in the earlier releases, and he's tamed a little bit in the newer releases, but still great. The needle drop is the song Dracula from Houston.
Got no future, great big past. Little bitty guy on the rim of my glass. And gotta meet the plane so I can get my monkey. Teach him to be cool, but a little bit funky. Got no credit and I got no fear. And I got about $1 so I can buy a beer. Gotta see a doctor about the words I've said. And I gotta get a bike and I gotta pay a bit. Oh no, we gotta go. We're not going forever. Why, we gotta die? You know that we'll be together. Hey, hey, we gotta say, I could never be a savior. You don't have to be there, 'cause I never coming home. 3 feet deep in a slow motion wreck. I was walking the walk and I was talking to the best. I was wrinkling and shriveled and stepping out of line, playing the end against the middle and losing every time.
Solid album. If you like Butthole Surfers, it seems like I haven't been disappointed with any one of them. Some people are not quite as enthusiastic about them as I am, but I just really like them. Now, next two records are from a band that I think I mentioned this in a Kunkel's episode recently. When I first hear a band, I have a tendency to go forward with their catalog and not initially look backward into their catalog. I was talking about this when we were talking about and ranking our 5 favorite albums of David Bowie's. Another band that I sort of did that with was R.E.M. And my first introduction to R.E.M. was with Green, actually with Eponymous, but the first whole album, Green. And then I just kind of went forward from there. I didn't go back and research their earlier material, and I have been more recently, and now I've got pretty much everything up to Automatic for the People. No, Monster came after that, I think. So all the way up to Monster, I have everything. And the most recent acquisitions, the first one here, Reckoning, which was from 1984. This is the purple translucent release. So the the record looks like black vinyl, but when you hold it up to light, it's translucent. Light passes through, and it's purple. The needle drop from here. I mean, there's good hits on this, but I want to play a deep track because the deep tracks on many of these earlier releases are really, really good. And the needle drop I'm going to play is Seven Chinese Brothers. Solid song, really great release. And then the other one from R.E.M. is from 1985, Fables of the Reconstruction. This is one of those covers that, because of the way, the way things are put on the spine of a record, you would think then that this is the front of the record. Here's the opening, but here's the barcode, which usually goes on the back of records, right? And then, this is a front. It's just one of those weird things how they flipped that. Anyway, Fables of the Reconstruction, another really solid early release with a lot of, there were hits on here, but there are some really good deep tracks. And the needle drop I want to play for you is Feeling Gravity's Pull. Good deep tracks on this record. And now, as I said, my collection of R.E.M. is complete all the way up to Monster, which I think came after Automatic for the People. And so there are some later ones that I need to get on vinyl. Some of them I have on CD, but I'm working on that. And then the last record in the group here, another favorite band of mine, kind of a garage rock, blues rock band, and that is Social Distortion. And this is the 2011 release, Hard Times and Nursery Rhymes. I just really, really like Social Distortion. Good rock and roll, good blues rock. And the needle drop I will play for you is California Hustle and Flow.
Right.
running round like you don't care. Take me down, take me on down the line. I was born bad with nothing to lose, but the black man taught me how to sing the blues. Made life by the rock and roll and that crazy California hustle and flow. Take me down, take me on down the line.
Really nice record. This is a double record that also comes with a CD and a poster, a two-sided poster. Was quite a package that I found, in my local record store. So there you have it, my update on my recent finds. So I've been quite busy, but as I said in an earlier video, many of these records I bought months ago, up to 2, maybe even 3 months ago. I just haven't talked about them on my channel. So leave a comment in the down under. Appreciate those. Hit the like button. Subscribing is great if you like what I'm doing. I certainly appreciate that. But, liking if you don't want to subscribe, but, hitting that like button really is useful because it helps get my content more widely distributed out on YouTube. I'm not monetized, so I'm not making any money on this, largely because of the needle drops. You can follow me also on Instagram, where I go by NewsDude76. That's NEWZDUDE76. I have a Facebook page called Calvin Wazoo. You can follow me there, where I not only post my own videos, but I post other video content related to music. So yeah, leave a comment down under. Like getting them. I've been enjoying them and reading them. And remember to pray for the people inside your head, for they won't be there when you're dead.